Okay, everyone, I have a question for you. What would you think or what would you say if I were to ask you to be a Catholic Moms Group leader? Or even to just attend a meeting? Would your mind start to fill with reasons not to? Perhaps you'd think, I'm too busy, I'm overwhelmed, I'm inexperienced, I don't have time, I'm not worthy, I'm tired, I don't like public speaking, I'm shy, I don't know anyone, what if no one comes? I wouldn't even know where to start. Then follow with, I'll think about it, I'll let you know. Well, let me tell you, I thought every single one of those. That's why it was so easy to think of. And when Dorothy had asked me to lead the Catholic Moms Group, those flooded my mind. When she asked if I would speak at the conference, those things flooded my mind. I thought, why me? What do I have to offer? But here I am, standing before you today, so filled with gratitude. What I've learned over the years is that if you plant a seed, even a tiny one, the Holy Spirit does the rest. That seed, planted by someone like Dorothy, a Catholic Moms Group leader, a priest, or even a stranger, has the power to grow into something beautiful, something life-changing. In fact, that's what's happened for me, and I'll share a few stories with you today. My name is Clarizza Baluyut. I'm a wife and mother to 3 beautiful children, an almost 6-year-old, an almost 4-year-old, and a growing 20-week-old in utero. I'm a small business owner and a teacher certified to teach kindergarten to grade 12 and special education. So when I graduated in 2011, I felt a call to work in the Catholic School Board, but I didn't feel worthy enough to pursue it. I settled for contracts in the public school board, which led to a permanent position. But then, in 2018, I got a random call from the Catholic School Board inviting me to interview for an occasional teaching position. I was pregnant with my first child at the time, and it didn't make sense to financially leave my permanent position to start all over as an occasional teacher. But my husband and I prayed about it, and we decided to take the leap of faith. Perhaps you've experienced moments in your life where it was easy to trust in God. His plan, his timing, that was one of them for us. But I'll be honest, trusting in his plan for things like becoming a leader or speaking at today's conference wasn't as easy for me. So another story. About 5 years ago, when my first child was just 3 months old, I was struggling with postpartum depression. It was incredibly hard to get out of the house, but then my husband and I learned that the priest who had married us, Father Mario Salvadori, had moved to a parish in Mississauga, where we had just moved. And that was another easy yes to go and see him. There's actually a really beautiful story there. So Father Mario has been planting seeds of faith in my heart since I was young. I didn't realize it at the time, but his homilies and words of encouragement had been shaping my spiritual journey. As a child, my family and I would actually drive from our house in Scarborough to go hear him preach in North York. And then later, when I was a teenager, we moved to Vaughan, and Father Mario was assigned to a parish walking distance from our house. So that seed of faith was watered by the Holy Spirit. And when my now husband and I decided to have Father Mario marry us, we had no idea just how important that decision was. So fast forward to today, we're very involved at our parish. I am one of the Catholic Moms Group leaders, a communion catechist, and a volunteer for our upcoming Passion Play. My husband is a set lead for the Passion Play and is part of the Knights of Columbus. We are also both honored to have been invited to become Eucharistic ministers, and we are proud parishioners of Saints Peter and Paul. I love our spiritual family. Shout out to our tables of ladies over there. Okay, so back to my story. We went to see Father Mario at his new parish when I was still struggling with postpartum depression. Imagine this. I was standing all the way at the back of the church, fighting back tears, and then in God's providence, Father Mario gave a homily about mental health. And then, as if God had timed it perfectly, a big poster on the bulletin board caught my eye, which said, "Calling all moms." It was a seed that would change my life. Linda Halliburton, the Catholic Moms Group leader at the time, planted that seed. Linda, would you please stand up and let's give her a round of applause for everything she's done for the moms and this ministry. You're a true blessing, Linda. That poster led me to my first Catholic Moms Group meeting, and I'll never forget it. I didn't know anyone. I was nervous to go alone, but I felt God's calling. Another easy yes. And when I arrived, grandmothers were eager to hold my baby so I could drink coffee. And actually, hot coffee, not coffee I had to reheat 3 times that day. So if you know, you know. Over time, I began to help Linda, but I wasn't ready for when she asked me to step up as a leader. Remember those excuses I mentioned at the start? They all flooded my mind, but I promised her that I would pray about it. So fast forward to a few years later, due to the pandemic, I agreed to do an announcement at the parish about the Moms Group. And that led to us hosting a wine and cheese event for moms and our first ever All Saints party, which brought over 100 people. And it was clear that there was a need for this kind of community. So we decided to start an evening group. And that's when Savita and Sandra answered their call to co-lead with me. And Kathy and Anna recently gave their yes to relaunching our Morning Moms group as well. Stand up, ladies. Let's give them a round of applause for their yes. Thank you for your yeses and trusting in God. Our groups at Saints Peter and Paul are multi-generational, so there's always so much wisdom and experience being shared. We have pregnant moms, moms with children of all ages, from newborns to adult children, grandmothers, and even caregivers. Every time I said yes, like our Blessed Mother Mary, I felt peace. I felt God's gentle reassurance that if He was calling me, He would equip me. And that's the message I want to leave with you. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. Each and every single one of you is called. Whether it's to lead, to pray, to serve, to volunteer, or to simply be part of a Catholic moms group. You are needed. You are valued. And no act of faith is too small to make a huge difference. And here's a spoiler. This group, this ministry, it's a gift. I started off sitting in the pews as a new mom, hoping for guidance and friendship, and this group provided that and then some. But you don't have to take my word for it. Discover for yourself if it's exactly what you need. And who knows, you might be the person that someone else needs in the spiritual family. And maybe that's the most powerful call of all. Dorothy, this ministry was exactly what I needed, and I didn't even know it. And there's a red card on all of your tables to fill out if you want more info to become a leader. And let me reassure you, you'll have a whole team of other leaders to support and cheer you on. And you also get access to the ministry's amazing membership portal online. So you don't have to try to find time that you already don't have to try to plan, because there's an abundance of resources, including already made guides. Okay, so let me share one final yes story with you. At our last leadership meeting, Dorothy said something that caught me off guard. She said, "Everyone, close your eyes. I feel someone in this room is being called." And at first I thought she was talking about something like volunteering or donating, but then she said, "I feel someone in this room is being called to have another baby." And at that moment, tears started streaming down my face because I had already felt that call for a while now. But my husband and I were struggling financially. You see, he was unjustly fired as a nurse during the pandemic after 11 plus years of hard work and dedication, and despite him working overtime and stepping up as charge nurse. He didn't qualify for EI and wasn't allowed to work as a nurse anywhere. So we struggled to decide if we could afford another child. And yet we both felt deep in our hearts that God was calling us to trust. But this was one of the harder yeses I had to give, as I didn't want to misinterpret God. So we kept praying about it, and we decided to fully trust. Literally a few days after I found out I was pregnant, my husband got a call from the same hospital he was fired from, and even though he still stood fast on his stance on the reason he was fired, he was offered his job back just like that. It was over 2 years of financial struggle, yet God's timing, God's plan made us rich in spirit as it brought us closer to Him and allowed us to focus on His calls for us more clearly. So again, if you are being called to something today, remember, you don't have to have it all figured out. All you need to do is say yes and trust that God does have it figured out. Don't wait for one day. Let this be your day one. Thank you for allowing me to share God's goodness and grace in my life, and may He bless each of you as you answer His call in your own. Thank you.